Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kyle here with another My Hero Academia, the strongest hero video. And in today's video, I want to talk all about gear. And I feel like gear is one of the most needlessly complicated pieces in this game. Once you understand it, I think it's fine, but in the beginning, it's a little overwhelming. So here, let's get into it. First thing, what is gear? The whole point of gear to give you base stats for the entirety of your account. All these stats apply to every one of your characters, so this is a really important game mode here in this game. Also, I'll leave a card up in the description here talking about how to farm it. And it's all through the agency assessment. Very good game mode. I think it's a lot of fun. I think this is going to be some of the things that we're going to farm here in the late game. It's going to provide a lot of different challenges. And it's going to be a way to play with your friends regardless of server. So very cool game mode. And now let's actually talk about gear. So what this is each piece here, when it comes to upgrading these slots, you're upgrading the slot, not the piece. So you have nothing to worry about when it comes to actually going all in and upgrading these slots. And how you can do it in three ways. You can enhance it, and this is the first way you get, and you use these little enhancing mixtures to level up each slot here. And that's independent of the actual piece. And it's important to level up at least 6 of these in unison. So if you're going to take them up to 10, take them all up to 10. If you're going to take them to 20, take all 6 to 20. Because if you look here in the enhance, this rewards you base stats based on, equip 6 pieces of gear plus 30. Then equip 6 pieces plus 40. So on and so forth all the way up. So make sure you're not just spamming one to the moon and all the other ones stay level 1. And then we can min-max which base stats we actually want to keep, because each piece of gear here has the same base stats. The thing that changes if you get the same piece of gear is you get purple is less valuable than orange. And look at the difference here. There's better base stats and there's more extra stats per base. So for example, this base stat one has, penetration and defense, but plus 29, plus 29. This one has plus 24, plus 24, but it has damage increase and decrease. But that's never going to change based on what I get here. But what will change is the extra stats. And the coolest thing about this is if I get another piece of, boots right here, and the extra stat rolls like crit and crit damage, like let's say it's, this one's crit resist rate and crit. Let's say the boot is crit damage and crit resist rate. I can just do a transfer of those stats to this boot here, and now I get to keep those stats. It's not like I lose any stats or anything like that. Not like I have to pay any currency or anything like that. It just transfers it right over. I think that's really cool for when it comes to substats in games like this. A lot of RNGs involved, and they are mitigating that with this, is how they're implementing the system. I think that's really nice. Well, let's talk about the base stats and which ones I would prioritize. So the helmet here is always crit and defense. This one's always crit damage and defense. This one, penetration, defense. And then now for the rest of them, attack and HP, attack and HP, attack and HP. But then lastly, we have damage increase and decrease. So I think the ones that are actually worth leveling in this game, the ones I would prioritize are going to be the crit rate, damage increase, and then probably lastly crit damage. Because these are flat numbers, but they increase a percentage of your actual damage increase. So if I go to this hero here, like let's say I go to All Might, he has damage increase 391. And then 22.08% damage increase. I think this is one of the most valuable stats you could possibly get in this game. So I think it's something that you should prioritize. And when I say prioritize here, because you're going to want to level out everything equally, it's the other ways of increasing these slots that I'm considering. And the two other ways that are significantly harder to do are going to be boost and modify. So modify is going to modify these stats here. It uses these modification drawings. It takes 3 to go up, but it's going to take more than 3 to go up a level. You got to... it's just going to be 3 is enough to give you some experience, and then you get up to the modify level here, and it's going to increase the primary stats. So then the boost here, and then also keep in mind that this is just increasing the slot. You don't have to worry about boosting this piece here, and then you lose this piece for a different one, and now you have to start over. It's the slot. Like it even says it right here. It boosting gear increases its base stats. Boosting stat level is bound to the gear slot and will remain even when changing gear. So that's a really important thing. All these are that way. Modifying gear will increase its modification stats in progress. Modifying stats are bound to the gear slot and will remain even when changing gear. And then fusion, I'm not level 40 yet, so I don't even want to talk about that. And then enhancing gear will boost its base stats. The star levels, enhancement levels bound to gear slot will remain even when changing gear. So all these are something you can, rest assured are going to stay here regardless of gear switching in and out. And so then this one right here, when you modify it, notice how modify it is, increasing the base just like the other one. It doesn't matter which piece it is, it's always going to increase the base stats. And as you go up, it's going to keep increasing it by a decent amount here. And then if you look, modification extra bonus, as you keep going up here, it's constantly giving you more attack. And then let's see if that changes based on what you're in. So this one right here, if you want to modify it, it's the same difference. All that you're going to get a lot of base attack here by constantly modifying the same piece. So then the other way is going to be through boosting. And this is a very expensive piece here to be able to boost these slots. But as you can see, it's one of the biggest ways to get stats. So you want to make sure you're choosing the one, splitting hairs here at the end of the day, because eventually you're going to be increasing them all. But I would say for the most part, since this is something that's so rare, I would make sure you're increasing the damage increase, or the crit chance at least, or the crit damage. Ideally, it's not one of these generic ones. It's the ones you want to prioritize. Let's actually, and I'll show you that based on how expensive they are. If we try to buy one here in the market, they are 1,000, but the modification drug is only 200. And if we try to go to the other shop, this would be like the whale shop. We want to go to the mall, and let's go here. Look at this, 400 hero crystals. That's like more than a pull just for one. Just for one, you need 4 to go from 2 to 3. It's a very valuable resource that you definitely want to make sure you're, really spending correctly when it comes to this. Even though it's something that you're just gonna, it's literally just you pick it and it's better, but just keep in mind how valuable this thing is. And if you see potential ways to farm this stuff, you always want to take advantage, because it's one of the hardest things to get in this game that actually is farmable. So then also the last thing I want to touch on is going to be the shop here, this market. So what you could do is, if you get duplicate pieces, so you're going to want to take your pieces, if they're duplicate, see if they transfer, see if they have better substats here. And if they don't, then what you could do is go to the market and you could sell them. And then the currency you get is going to be this currency here, this orange $sign, and you could use it to buy these pieces. So currently I've just bought modification drawings, but you could buy any of these things are probably worth it. I'd probably stay away from the food and the credits and just focus on the specific thing, because this is the thing that's actually scarce. The credits and the food are definitely a struggle, but there's other ways to farm those, where there's really no other ways to farm this except the ops missions in co-op, and the amount you get is it's all random based on if you actually hit your card rolls. And then this normal alloy, maybe we can start to farm this later on when we get to higher ops mission levels, like level 40 and stuff. But at the moment, I can't find a way to farm it besides farming a currency and then buying it out of a shop. That's mainly when it comes to gear here. Hopefully that was helpful. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. And with that, guys, I am out. Peace.